Oh, look, we're live.
We're live.
So when I started on Facebook, Justin was watching it. He's like, "Hey, let's go on StreamYard. Let's set it up." So I was like, "All right, fine."
Let's do
And
it
here
the
we
right
are.
way.
Yes, and here we are. We are
Hey.
on uh live now on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. The new Twitter thing. I don't know if Justin.
Oh, we're
have you-
live on Twitter too?
Yeah, you can put it on Twitter now, but there's no commenting, obviously. So you're not gonna get any comments from there.
You're not going to
But
get anything from Twitter. Okay.
no, they can't like tweet at you and then you see the tweet and it's not doesn't work that way.
Okay.
But traditional Facebook and of course YouTube, if you guys are watching there, this is I don't know how many people are going to watch because I kind of just threw this. Well, Justin really just threw it together. He said, "Hey, let's." So I was like, "All right, let's go."
My hands are dirty. Right
I'm
here.
already recording, so let's just do it. And of course, I got into it a little bit on the Facebook Live part about what happened today. The big news of the day, which is crazy that it's big news when I think about it, but
It's not big to anybody else.
no, it's not outside of
like
our
here.
community. No one gives a crap. Nobody cares about this. In fact, we just found out Vin Scully passed away, which is bigger news.
Yeah.
Obviously, legendary voice of the Dodgers. At first in Brooklyn, then when they moved to LA, he went out to LA, and he's been their voice for many years. And rest in peace, Vin. I mean, he had a great life. So, just really quick. Sorry to start off on a
No, that's fine. How dare Zaslav kill him? This guy's heartless. He's canceling Batgirl.
Yeah, that's why.
Sorry, that's such a bad joke.
Vin Scully was waiting for Batgirl, and now
Vin Scully, man, you couldn't even make it.
That's terrible.
So,
all right, we're Justin and I are going to hell probably now.
Oh.
Me definitely. Justin probably has a better chance not to, but
We'll
me
see.
definitely. I'm definitely going.
Oh, we got some people. Steve's in here and Craig.
Yes,
hey guys.
Steve and Craig. Hello, fellas. Hello, gentlemen. Thanks for coming over and sticking with me and hopping over and joining with Justin.
Sorry for hijacking, guys.
No, but it was fun. I wanted to do this before. I was going to see if all you guys wanted to get together, but it's weird get something together at the last minute. So yeah. I wasn't sure. And then I just said, well, let me go on and talk about it myself because Pete's working. So I knew he wasn't available, but then you were there. So I'm like, let's do it.
Hey, you trade one Italian for another
half Italian,
53% Italian. My 23andMe says I'm 53%. So
there you go.
It went up actually. It was at 47 and updated. So
what? How is that possible?
It updates. They'll send you updates. They're like, oh, actually, there you go.
What is your DNA changes? What the hell?
It does. It fluctuates.
Okay.
They do updates, dude. It's really weird.
That is weird.
Yeah. They're like, oh, actually, they'll dial it in, dude. So
that's nuts.
I already knew where I was. I was like, well, my mom's side's from Italy. My dad's side is German and Polish. So
yeah, your last name's
see what happens.
Polish. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, there we go. You'll figure that one out. So. All right, Craig. All right. This whole thing. That's not your voice, dude. I'm just saying it. I'm just reading stuff. This whole thing is a massively bad look for WB, whatever their reasons. I agree.
Okay. Now, Justin and I have been talking about this on Twitter, in our Twitter chat. We've kind of been talking about this all night. So we've already hashed out a lot of our thoughts there. But we can bring it to you guys now because we're live and we can share it with the rest of you. Yeah. I kind of more align myself with Craig's thoughts on this. More for the reason I said from the beginning, more because the film is finished and I don't see any point in not releasing it unless, as you say, it really is that bad. But there's kind of been mixed reports on how bad the film actually is. And then we got that little tidbit about the tax write down thing. So we got that part added to the equation. So as usually happens, these things always kind of evolve over time as more information comes out. So, Justin, I'll let you give your take of the situation first. So,
yeah. First off, I wanted to introduce a guest. I have Batgirl with me. My son brought me a little Batgirl. But I feel like this isn't even an appropriate version of Batgirl. So here's my other version of Batgirl.
Do we have the purple?
I'm in my studio here. So this is the other Batgirl right here. Currently, this is the new version of Batgirl. Just dead on arrival, guys.
That is so messed up, but not wrong.
Not wrong, right? It's Halloween. It's coming soon. So, anyways, there's Batgirl. See you later, Batgirl. Yeah. Here's my take. I actually agree with the whole. It's a bad look for reals. I get that, but here's where I kind of land in. There's a little bit of me. I don't know. None of us know anything, right? I don't know if it's bad. I don't know if it's good. Here's all we know is that Zaslav is wanting to build a brand. Okay. And so based on like what this is a big move. This is a chess move right here, right? Like, let's say Batgirls cost WB $90 million, right? Give or take a little bit. And then after reading that tax article, okay, that makes sense, right? And so either they can go two ways. They can take it as a loss, right? Or they can put it out and like, okay, it did okay, but it got panned, or this isn't what we wanted to do. This is a branding management thing more so than a financial thing. I think what he's trying to do is, if we do anything DC, this is a huge IP for us, right? Like all their IPs right now were like Harry Potter, like that made money, but like you got the Fantastic Beasts stuff, it's not setting the world on fire, right? DC's kind of like, I don't want to say DC's faltering, but man, it's not what it could be, right? That's their crown jewel. It's not what it could be. So I feel like he's in damage control, like not going to put out this thing that I don't think is great. And who knows whose final decision it is? We don't know. We're all saying Zaslav. It could be Zaslav's crew, whatever. And so for me, I'm just thinking, if he doesn't think, or they as WB don't think this is going to be a good look moving forward, cut our losses. Don't even put it out, because here's the thing. This can be like a Man of Steel, Batman and Robin situation where if we put this movie out, Batgirl's going to have some stink on her for a long time. And we don't want that, as much as like right now, we're like, we want to watch Batgirl. Like, okay, fine. It'll end up, it'll come out somehow, right? Oh, Nick, even a bad movie still makes some money. Bro, that's the thing. Stop thinking about money. Stop thinking about money and start thinking about what does a bad film do for a brand that's already struggling. DC's brand with moviegoers is struggling. Pay attention to when a trailer comes out, how they react to the DC thing. Like, it's always, there's always a groan or some type of thing. And that sucks, because DC has a huge stable of characters that have been mismanaged by the studio, right? So if Batgirl can potentially like stink it up even more, don't put it out long term. I'm talking Endgame. You guys, like, you're only thinking about like, well, Batgirl, I want to see Batgirl. Who cares, dude? Like, we don't know anything about it. We saw no trailers. All we saw was some set photos and one picture they put out. That's it. We know nothing about how good it is. There's been some screenings and it's been great. It's been bad. Like, we don't know. Nobody knows, right? And so what they're trying to do, in my opinion, and I'll stop talking, is clear path for like maybe what they would see as guaranteed hits, which is, it's hard to have a guaranteed hit, but like you have stuff already in the pipeline, like Black Adam and Shazam, right? And Aquaman, those things are rolling out, right? Anything after that, I think it's like, this has to be like as low risk as possible so that they can get to a place where they can throw a Batgirl and they're like, we'll see how it goes. They have no brand trust. DC has no brand trust, and Zaslav's trying to create possibly a path of trust, and that's all it is. So the movie, put his thing up there. I don't have my glasses on. The movie have never been greenlit if it was bad, though. You don't know that. Like, bad movies get greenlit all the time. It's just,
it got greenlit obviously because it was made. So if a movie doesn't get made if it's not greenlit. So that's number one. But number two, I mean, what you're saying is not completely wrong. Like, I don't totally disagree with what you're saying. I kind of get what you're trying, your angle here is saying, well,
Super Pets was cool.
Well, the brand is not in great shakes right now, and we have some things coming out, and it remains to be seen like how Black Adam is received. Yes, it stars The Rock, who definitely brings people all the time, no matter what movie he's in, even the
not Skyscraper
films. People still want to see that, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it's crazy that people go and see his movies, but they do, no matter how bad they are, because he just draws people in. So I have a feeling Black Adam's going to do well financially. I don't know critically how it'll do. I have no idea. Shazam 2 is a movie that Shazam was loved by the critics, and that's really what got it its second. It made money because it didn't make a ton of money, but it made a profit, so they made the second one. And let's be honest, it's a fun family kind of film. Like, to me, I just look at it in that kind of a world. So you have those two in the can, And then the next that was supposed to be coming, obviously, The Flash, and then Batgirl, as well as like Blue Beetle, which who knows what's going to happen now with that.
I know. I'm like, I'm actually more like, don't cancel Blue Beetle, because I actually really like Blue Beetle. I'm like, don't cancel that thing.
But like my problem has always been from the moment I heard this news, I'm like, what is the purpose of, you already made this movie, you spent $90 million to make it. Why not just show it and let everyone see it? If it sucks, it sucks. They've recovered from crappy movies in the past. It's not like they can't, recover. People are going to see it for the Keaton factor. People will watch. It's not going to be theatrically released anyway, because it's going to HBO Max. So who is it hurting? Then when I heard the news that HBO Max might be being absorbed into Discovery Plus or vice versa, or whatever they're doing, then I'm like, okay, this is interesting. That's an interesting little wrinkle that I kind of was ignoring, but now I'm kind of like, it kind of makes more sense. Because obviously Discovery Plus isn't a place for these scripted type of movies. Discovery Plus is a place where they do, what Discovery is known for. So all the nature shows, the food shows, like the Food Network's on there, all that stuff is there. So
things you want to discover.
Yeah, which maybe, Batgirl might have been something.
Maybe you'll discover Batgirl.
Well, people might have been, that might have been their first exposure to it to Batgirl outside of the 66 show.
Hold on. There's listen, movies actually don't get put out. Like, I think everyone's reacting emotionally. Here's the thing. Take your emotions of how you want to watch a movie. I get it. I wanted to see Keaton too, but I don't want to see Keaton come back in a movie if it's not good. Let's stop looking at things. It's Keaton. It just doesn't make any sense. That thought does not make sense. You're not thinking as a business, a $1 billion business. Emmett, it's not weird to shrug off. It's actually dang, that's ballsy. You care so much about your brand that you're willing to say, hey, we got to cut this out. We got to cut this out because it's a potential cancer on what we're trying to build. That's what you got to do. I know it's not popular and it makes this small percentage of kids on Twitter upset. No one else cared. My son, right before we started, we're like, hey, they're canceling Batgirl. He's like, oh, they're making a Batgirl movie? He doesn't even know. He's who they want to watch. They want him to watch it, but there hasn't been any marketing. Nobody cares about this movie besides Nick Zednick, okay? No one cares. This movie is not on anyone's radar. It's news on your Twitter feed, and that's it. And then tomorrow, it won't be. That's the reality. Sorry to be. I just feel like I have to be curt because nobody is thinking beyond oh, this makes sense as a business. You are all going to see DC's movie. You're going to see Black Adam. You're going to see Shazam. You're going to see Aquaman. You're going to see every other film that comes out. So it's not affecting them financially. You're going to watch every one of their films. They don't need to impress you. What they need to do is build trust with the audiences that are going to see Marvel films. That's what they need to do. And that's what is not happening because they have no brand trust, bro.
But see, that's the point. If they had made this decision, if he came in March and said, yeah, we're cutting it. I'm not putting this out, even though it had pretty much finished shooting then. And he said, yeah, you know what? We're good. I'm not doing it. This film is finished.
Yeah.
They already spent the money on it. I get what you're saying. It makes a little bit of sense if it really is that bad of a film. And I don't know that. I haven't seen it. I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying what's been reported. I'm going off of what's been reported and I'm inferring this guy's trying to course correct. So it only makes sense that they don't have faith in this film. So they they're a bruised animal, you guys. That's what I have to use. It's a bruised animal and you got to take it out. That's what DC Films at Warner Brothers is. Do I care about the movie? I don't. Do I care about talking about it? Sure, let's talk about it because it's definitely an interesting concept. But if it comes out if it wasn't going to be a risk for the studio, then it'd be putting it out.
And the toll tax thing kind of just takes away the financial commitment to it. Because if they can recoup all the money from it just by doing it as a tax that
makes so much sense.
Then they're not losing anything. The actor still got paid. The director still got paid. But that's another kind of a sore point too, right? Because if I'm a director or I'm an actor and they come to me and say, hey, we have this thing for you. Do you want to do it? I'm like, well, I remember what you did to Batgirl, and those guys were hot at the time, and they just did Bad Boys 3, and they did Ms. Marvel, and they were getting they had all this positive buzz, and then you just took the film away from them, and had Leslie Grace, who had a really who's really good and in the Heights. Her star was kind of growing, and you took it away from her as well. It had Simmons, it had Keaton. Like, I don't know. It kind of does send a message that, especially since Zaslav said when he came in, his main focus was wanting to rebuild the trust between directors and the studio because of what happened with the whole Nolan thing and Tenet and during the pandemic, all that. It kind of doesn't add up in that sense. And I understand that side of the argument. I think that's a 100%. Very good argument.
I see both sides of that.
But the film, like, it's done. Like, the film is finished. And if it was being released theatrically, then yes, I would say, okay, maybe this is a better decision because that's more people are going to see it usually. But since it was just going to HBO Max, what's the problem? Like, I mean, I hate to bring up Zack Snyder's Justice League, but they put that on HBO Max.
Yeah.
And everyone watched that.
I'll say this. I think they should put it on HBO Max. My opinion is just put it out. What I'm saying is I understand what WB is doing. If their point is like, hey, we're trying to rebuild and we don't want to put this out because it's not up to the par we want it to be, then I get it. Because what's going to happen with everybody right here who's like, oh, I want to see Batgirl. If it comes out and it sucks, they're like, WB leadership sucks. All they do is put out crap. Like, it's the same cycle. They're going to be like, well, they don't know what they're doing over at WB. They're going to be upset. Like, every one of these people that wants to see it are going to say the same thing.
Yeah, this is
how bad is the investor call going to go? They may go, hey man, thanks for like cutting our losses because that thing stunk.
Well, these are the two topics that really are on up next, right?
So the HBO Max.
The investor call is coming up on Thursday, where the rumor of the whole the absorbing of HBO Max into Discovery Plus is supposed to happen, or we're supposed to hear about it officially or whatever. That's one thing. And then like Blue Beetle, again, that's another film. Now, are we going to get that? Now, I tend to think that one is safe because it is a theatrical release. It's not an HBO Max release.
Yeah.
And he's kind of made the point that we want these things to be in the theater.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, I think that one might be safe also. And I know this is, I'm not saying this was why the decision was made. I'm just saying that you're getting rid of one movie that has a Latina leading it, and you're going to do that to another one, right a few days later. That might be something you want to think of from a PR standpoint. You might not want to do that in that regard, just because, hey, it doesn't look good. It's a really bad look on the studio if they do that. Not that that's a factor in why it's being canceled, just that if they did cancel
I'm sure that's coming tomorrow. Yeah.
Well, there's
Ray Fisher will light that match. Promise he'll be out there. Anyways, I hope that Blue Beetle goes forward because that's actually I feel like that's different enough. We've never seen that.
That's fair.
We haven't seen we haven't seen Blue Beetle like besides on the cartoons. Like Batgirl, we haven't seen since like the 60s or 97, right? We've seen Batgirl and Batman and Robin, but like we've seen Bat characters. Like Blue Beetle is fresh. So hopefully like they're like, hey, that's something that there's not like a lot of like emotional attachment to like as a broad audience. So like put out Blue Beetle, like get that audience. But like Batgirl, like you have to handle something like Batgirl with a little more care because there is a social construct of what Batgirl means and what she is. And if it comes out and it's like, oh, that sucked, then you can't go back to Batgirl for another 10 years.
Yeah, and I always thought, even though the idea that they had for the film and I wanted to see it was to make Batgirl kind of the Batman Beyond style character, with Keaton kind of being the obviously the older Batman. Instead of having Terry McGinnis, you have Barbara Gordon's Batgirl. Yeah. That's where they were going with that. And I kind of liked that concept, but maybe like because they made a point to say they want to work with the directors and with Leslie Grace again. So maybe, and this was brought up, I've heard this in numerous places, this was brought up before, that maybe they want to bring her in as Batgirl in another film, like ease her in that way, and then have her go forward, maybe getting her own movie after the fact. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, they said they wanted to work with her and the directors.
So,
okay. Maybe not in these. What if it's not in these roles though? What if they're like, you know what, we're gonna do something different?
No, it's possible. Like
Yeah.
I don't think they want to get rid. They obviously want to keep talent, and these three, like Grace
Yeah.
is talented, and so are these directors.
Yeah.
So, it could be just like Eric Carter just said. It could be a very diplomatic statement by them saying, "Yeah, we just want to make sure they do."
Hey,
They're around.
Affleck will crawl on the ground as an eighth for Matt Reeves, right? You know.
Oh, that's the other topic that's coming up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, but people will. Eric's completely right, because that's what it does. It's, it kind of calms down people. Like, no, we're not trying to get rid of her, but like they might, right?
Yeah.
We don't even know where they are with Cavill, right? Like, there's a lot of non-confirmations, right? So,
Okay, Zeddy, I understand what you're saying here, but let's put this in perspective.
yeah,
The Flash is a bigger character than Batgirl.
yeah,
Let's just be honest, he is. Number two, that's a theatrical film that
mhm,
probably has a budget of what, 200 million, I think I heard last check.
yeah,
And it's supposed to reboot everything anyway. So if that's
yeah.
the goal of this and they're going to reboot it, why would they get rid of that film? I understand what's going on with Miller. I understand that's a big problem. Of course, it's something they're going to have to navigate, but
And
that
it's had
movie,
great word of mouth on like
yes.
Batgirl has been murky. It's been like, it's okay, it's good, it's not good. Flash has all been, oh my gosh, it's amazing. And so
Yeah.
they're trying to
And
distance themselves from freaking, Ezra Miller's like, weekly meltdowns and his shenanigans. So like they
hey,
gotta
it's been
like,
like 3 weeks since we've had a Ezra Miller story.
I feel like no, something came out yesterday. I was in the
Did it?
Senate.
Did I miss
Yeah,
this?
something came out. I thought I read something yesterday.
No.
Yeah.
He's
Or
been
maybe it was like
so
a
good
recap.
lately.
Yeah. Well,
I shouldn't laugh. It's not funny.
yeah.
It's not funny.
People leave out banana pills, man. They slip up. So.
I mean,
So yeah, Flash is you can't even put Flash and Batgirl in the same conversation because they're not the same things.
yeah.
And like you just said, what Flash was almost $300 million, right?
It's an expensive film.
You can't do that. They're praying for distance in one of those like situations. Ezra's found himself, and he took care to like go to a kumbaya counseling center, and now he's good to go. That's what they're waiting for. They're hoping for something like that in a year that everyone forgets. My mom's
that's the
not
other
going to
thing.
care. Like
That's the other thing, right? Like we
yeah,
have a whole year still
yeah,
until that movie's scheduled to come out now.
a year from now, Batgirl's still going to suck, you guys.
Well, to them,
allegedly
to the
It's still
studio,
gonna be
it's still
terrible.
not going to be worth the 90 million they invested in. And guys,
Yeah,
I'm upset about it too. I'm not like
yeah,
distraught and ripping my hair out. I wanted to see this movie. I mean, we're getting Michael Keaton. We get Michael Keaton back in it. I
mhm,
love J.K. Simmons as an actor, so getting to see him in something else, I'm always
yeah.
happy for that. So I wanted to see this movie too.
Brendan Fraser, Firefly, like
Yeah,
that.
Brendan,
That seemed fun.
and I've heard people have seen it. He was one of the positive things from the film.
Yeah,
So like I heard some people have said he was a really like one of the better villains that they've had
mhm.
in the DC universe. So I was like, wow, this is that's actually pretty good stuff. And we're not going to see it, but we might.
We'll see it at Comic-Con in like 15 years. Like I said it on Twitter. We all got to see that Roger Corman Fantastic Four film. It's going to come out somehow, guys. And then you can be the judge, right? Yeah, Encino Man. I want to see a sequel to Encino Man. They kind of set it up. They set it up. His Betty Nuggs was at the end. Like, hey, hook it up. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Eric, you're right. But the Marvel, I said this the day of Comic-Con, and I'm not going to change my mind. They are in a completely different level. DC just needs to ignore what they're doing and focus on their own house. And maybe that's what Zaslav's doing. I have no idea. I don't know. It does seem, but he has been consistent in saying that he wants theatrical releases for their films, and he wants to hire someone like a Kevin Feige to oversee everything.
Yeah.
So maybe part of this is that, you know what? I don't have my Kevin Feige yet.
Yeah.
Why should I release this movie that's not, that is mixed at best right now, mixed reviews at best? Again, I just think it looks really bad on them yet again when what happened earlier this year with the sizzle reel for everything that's supposed to come this year, and then all those films got pushed back.
Yeah.
Now, it seems like in retrospect that was smart because the little footage we got of Black Adam from Comic-Con was so much better than anything that we had seen from it. And it seems like that was CGI related and stuff. So that was a smart move by them.
Yeah.
But they keep having these, toe stubbing moments where they're doing these things and like, oh yeah, this is coming to the year of 2022 DC. And then we're literally the Flash gets moved.
But here's the thing, Eric, they're doing exactly what they should have done with Justice League initially.
Well,
Stopping. Let's table this sucker. You know,
if the movie but that's if
they're not gonna push back Black Adam, Eddie.
Why? That's
the Rock. Why would
those are the two films that we're getting at the end of the year? We're getting at the end of the year.
Yeah, Batgirl is not on the same level of any of these films, dude. No. Like that doesn't even make sense to bring into the conversation.
It wasn't a theatrical release.
Batgirl was small potatoes, dude. It's like,
look at the budgets, right? Like, just
it's Firefly. It's Batgirl versus Firefly. Nobody cares. Like, I'm saying that it's not affecting anyone beyond our little Twitter sphere. And I don't mean, I don't say that I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to be as direct as possible. It's not that big of a deal. No one's going to talk about this on Monday.
Oh, so wait, he's saying that basically like the Solo factor, right? Like, people say that The Last Jedi impacted the Solo box office. He's saying that because of do you really
an angry Batgirl fan's not going to go watch Black Adam. Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Again, I think people going to see Black Adam anyway outside of the comic community are going to see Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
Anyway, like, they're not going to see
guys are like Dwayne Johnson, like Jumanji fans, everyone who loves going to the movies. That's like a movie is their thing. Like, my brother-in-law and sister, they're my litmus test. They're going to go see Black Adam because it's The Rock and it's cool. Right. Like, they don't care about Batgirl. Oh, Batgirl's not coming out. Well, I'm not going to go watch this movie.
Right.
No one thinks like that.
Right.
Sorry.
It's true. No.
Angry DC fans go see it doesn't matter. They're the only ones going to see the movies. That's the thing. Even an angry DC fan will go watch a DC movie. I'm not going to go watch the Batman because guess what? They all went and saw it.
The general audience doesn't know Dr. Fate from Dr. Doolittle. Like, they don't know the difference
from Doctor Strange.
Right. Like, they don't know those guys at all. So they're not going to see any of that stuff.
Female fans. I didn't even say nothing about females. But
no,
angry DC fans, not just female fans.
Women are going to go see The Rock. Muscleheads will go see The Rock. Wrestling fans will go see The Rock. Yeah. Like, they're going to go see him in a movie. And that's what they're hoping. That's what they're banking on. Then they'll be like, oh, wow, Black Adam is cool. Like, that's what they're hoping after the fact, that they'll be like, oh, crap, that's a pretty cool damn character. I want to learn more about Black Adam. That's what look, it was the same thing when Marvel cast Robert Downey Jr. to play Iron Man, right? Like, that was the beginning of this well-known actor, who people have loved, even though he had a crazy past, but everyone knew about his crazy past. So people went to see it because of that. And now look, we have this, right? And I'm not saying The Rock is going to do that. I'm just saying the thought process is the same. You take a character that's not an A character. Black Adam is not an A-list character, and you give it an actor of who's going to draw people, who people love, and then you hope you grow something out of that, which is what I believe he was saying at Comic-Con anyway, where he said, we're about to change the hierarchy of the DC universe, because I believe Black Adam is going to start a JSA segment of films.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
That's my belief.
I can get that, because you got some fun. And here's the thing, you got characters coming out in the Black Adam film. Like, there's a potential you can get a Dr. Fate film, and there's a potential you can get a Hawkman film, right? Like, that's kind of cool. Like, those are like and I'm gonna say second string, not in a disrespectful way, but you have like your top tier is like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, right? And then your second tier is like, oh, you're starting to get your Black Canaries, your Hawkmans, and you want to bring them up to the top. I think that's a cool thing. But I don't know, man. Like, it's an easy to say. WB does all a favor for canceling a movie before we could have a chance to judge it. Yeah.
I mean, that's a fair. That's the one comment that's fair. Again, because I'm just surprised they canceled a film that had Michael Keaton in it.
But here's the thing. It's okay. Look at anything. Batman is money and will make some money. Here's the thing. That's not necessary. I say we live in post-Batman world. That's my thing. Everyone makes fun of me about it, but like, it's not $1 billion guarantee, you guys.
It doesn't need to be $1 billion.
But that's how people think, right? Batman versus Superman. It's gonna make $2 billion. I remember Kevin Smith. It's gonna make $2 billion. It's Batman and Superman, the two biggest names. Blah blah. It's not a guarantee anymore, because people say there's other options, and I don't want Michael Keaton to come back in a film that isn't great. Then all that does is tarnish his legacy.
No, I just like I'm saying he's a draw, right? So in my head, I'm
He's a
like,
draw, but
people will watch Batgirl because they know Michael Keaton's going to be in it. Like a lot of people in our community were watching it because Keaton was coming back, not for Batgirl. They didn't give a damn. They were watching it because of him.
Well, that's what I was mostly excited about. But like, if Batgirl comes out and like, oh man, like Keaton that wasn't a great film. Oh, that's a bummer that Keaton came back and he did that. Like that's like it's kind of a letdown.
But then in your head you're like, oh, but I'm seeing him in the Flash. So like, oh,
but he comes back in Flash first. He comes back in Flash and you're excited, and then he shows up in Batgirl and you're like,
that's fair. Yeah,
and then WB's like, why did we put this out? We knew we shouldn't have done it. We should have tabled it. But Nick said to put it out because he's upset. And he hashtagged us.
I mean, I do. Batman, like you mentioned this before, I don't agree with you there. I think the Batman was a pretty good litmus test on Batman's draw.
Yeah.
And I mean it wasn't a $1 billion film, but it was a $770 million film. And for a start of whatever they're doing, if it's a franchise, if it makes obviously we're getting sequels, even though some people believe that that's not happening now, which is crazy.
The Batgirlverse.
That's happening. We're getting a Batman 2, guys. The Batman 2 don't even bother with thinking that's not happening. That's just nuts. But I don't know. This is it's a gut punch. And again, it's a gut punch from them. You know, it's a DC gut punch that we've experienced before, and like now it happened again. And it kind of makes you wonder, okay, well, what's next? I honestly hope nothing else.
I think there's going to be some next, and I think there's going to be follow. But this is like, you know what? Like later on you'll understand it. Like right now it sucks and you're sad, and like I imagine this affects so many different parts of Warner Brothers, right? Like this movie was supposed to come out in December, you guys. Originally, until they pushed it, right? So think about all the other stuff that's in the pipeline. There's tons of stuff that's in the pipeline for this film, I imagine. And so it probably trickles down to marketing. There's a whole bunch of other costs that are involved besides you wanting to watch a movie.
Well, that's the thing. Like I don't know. Again, what cut did they see? Was it a completed cut? Was it a finished cut? Yes, we do need an Azrael movie. Where's Ryan Haas when you need him?
We need an Azrael podcast is what we need, Ryan Haas.
Yeah, we're supposed to be getting that. And but we had Lobo on Krypton. Lobo was on Krypton. That was awesome.
I didn't like Lobo on Krypton.
No, I thought it was.
No. Anyway. See, that's the thing. I think Jason Momoa should have been Lobo. He was miscast. Oh gosh, he is Lobo. He's just not like painted white. Oh yeah, Can you imagine just riding a motorcycle in space? That's what I would do if I was Zaslav. I would cancel Aquaman 2, and then recast Jason Momoa as Lobo. I don't know of any actor that can play Lobo besides freaking The Rock.
Well, maybe Charlie Hunnam.
No.
From Sons of Anarchy days.
No.
Why not?
So, I don't think he has that charisma.
Well, there was talk about him being Green Arrow for the longest.
But that was like fan chatter. I don't know if that was ever like, oh yeah.
I mean, the look he had down.
Yeah, like, sure. He looks like him, but
look was perfect.
Yeah.
But
you know.
Yeah, Eric, I agree. There definitely is a reboot coming, but I think that was going to happen anyway with The Flash. I just don't know when the reboot is coming. Like I would be extremely shocked if The Flash didn't come out. I'd be even with everything going on with Ezra Miller, I would be stunned if that movie didn't come out. Because it's just been like, that's not a $90 million HBO Max film. That's a $200 million a DC tentpole film that we've been hearing about now for 9 years.
Yeah.
Literally 9 years.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I there's nothing else coming for DC.
Okay,
we don't know that,
but
you don't know what's on the whiteboard, bro.
This is why I brought this up before too. This Warner Brothers has been sold twice in 4 years, right? Every time a new ownership comes in, they're gonna want to put their own stamp on things.
Yeah.
When this happened back in March, I even said on SOG, I was like, just be patient because we don't know what's gonna happen. I did not expect this.
Yeah.
But we don't know what's going to happen because everyone who comes in, it's their toy now. They want to play with it. So this is where we're at now. And you're right, Zeddy. We don't know what's going to come after The Flash now. We have no idea. But the Flash was supposed to reboot things regardless. I think the only things we know going forward is we're probably still gonna have Wonder Woman because Gal Gadot. We're gonna definitely have Momoa's Aquaman. We'll probably still have Black Adam because I'm assuming it's gonna do well.
Yeah.
Those three I think are safe.
There's a lot of stuff that like all I think is gonna happen is Flash kind of streamlines things a little bit and they move forward. There's like for a studio that wants to have a universe, like we're getting an Amanda Waller show, like we're getting that which connects it, like that's connected to everything, right? Wonder Woman and Aquaman are part of this universe. Suicide Squad is a part of this universe. Peacemaker, Flash, like all these things, there's Black Adam, all that stuff is part of the same like tapestry, right? There may not be telling some massive story or whatever, or the rumors are there's a Crisis on Infinite Earth movie or something. Okay, and maybe that 5-6 years from now, maybe that's when they reboot something, but I don't see them doing a massive like recast of everything.
And Superman, they didn't show Superman either.
Yeah,
I made it important to note that too because that was the day we were supposed to hear that Superman was coming back. So when they didn't show it, I was like, "Oh, they're kind of hinting at us. That's not gonna happen."
Yeah,
but no, maybe, you're right.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is this, Eric, that Affleck is back.
Here we go. I was waiting for this topic to come up. I was waiting for it. I've heard this before. Yes, Affleck is coming back because he was put in Aquaman 2 and he replaced Keaton in the Keaton scene. So we haven't seen Keaton yet. So maybe Affleck is coming back because of Jennifer Lopez and and I don't know. You know what? If he does, great. Congratulations. I had no problems with him. You know, I would still bet 90. I'd still, you know, a betting man. I would still put 90% he's not coming back.
Affleck?
Yeah. But you never know. And Zeddy, I wouldn't be, this is not true. Trust me, HBO wants to be in the business with Viola Davis. So I'm pretty sure that Amanda Waller show will happen because also it's connected to Suicide Squad, which is connected to Peacemaker. So I'm pretty sure we're going to get the Waller show. You're right, though. Anything else is up for debate. You can put that up for debate. And Ben Affleck isn't back. Go ahead. Let's go.
Yeah. I would love for Affleck to do more things, dude.
Of course.
Because here's the thing, like as I'm an Affleck guy. I love Affleck as Batman. I want to see more Affleck as Batman. So I was surprised. Like it makes sense why he's doing it because they were even saying like in the previews, people saw Aquaman, they're like, oh, why is Keaton in here? That makes no sense to like average non-Twitter users are like, why is Michael Keaton here? So he did them a solid, right? And he showed up. Does that mean he's back? No, but I would be happy if he was. Who cares? Like somebody said this. I'm trying to remember who said it, and it was someone like we know. Maybe I think it was Nico. Like this is so what if Affleck decides, hey, you know what? They want me back. I'm down to be Batman again. Here's what I'd love to do. Here's how I'll come back. What if he changes his mind? That's cool if he does. Like I'm on board. You know,
guys. I mean, yeah. I mean,
maybe he's cameo Batman. Maybe he's like the Hulk. He just shows up in little things here and there because he doesn't have to like carry the whole thing on his shoulders. But he's like, dude, you know, J-Lo said go and do this, and I'm like, all right. And that's what happens.
Zeddy, that's a fair point. We don't know what's happening with HBO Max past Thursday, so let's wait and see what happens. Because
Thursday is D-Day, man. We're gonna find out.
Thursday's pretty much the D-Day.
Yeah.
I'd probably bet this is true.
Dead. Maybe.
I'd probably bet that's true. Even though, you know,
it sounded interesting.
Madam Web's not dead, guys. If you listen to SOG, we have the story all the time.
I heard that Batgirl is going to show up in Madam Web. She's going to be she's going to be Spider Batgirl.
The crossover.
Yeah, dude. And then Sasha Calle is going to be in there. So they're going to have the world's finest of Spider-Verse. It's going to be great.
What about this? What about if they added Batgirl now to The Flash?
Sure. They just replaced Ezra Miller with Batgirl.
No, I mean, since we're getting Supergirl in it, why don't they just throw Batgirl in there too?
They just like CGI her in the back. She's just running.
No,
she's all jinkies.
Shoot some.
Throw Scooby-Doo in there too. They canceled that.
Shoot some scenes with Leslie Grace. Just throw her in, and there you go. You know, that's all I'm saying. Like, just throw her in there, and that way people can still be happy.
You, Ian.
Thank you, Ian.
I don't mean to be curt, but I feel like I'm just trying to be fatherly and like smack you in the face a bit. Realize this is okay, guys. She broke your heart. You're gonna find a new Batgirl, and it's gonna be fine.
We're
It's gonna
just
be
having a
better.
little fun too, guys. We're just
Yeah, we're
having a
having
little
fun.
fun here as well. Like it's again, like I said, I'm upset. Justin is upset too. I'm sure. I'm sure he wants.
I'm indifferent, but like, okay, again, why why do we know that anything with Calais is gonna be money? We don't know anything. We've never seen her do anything.
To be honest, I have seen less of her than I have of Leslie Grace.
I've seen nothing of Leslie Grace.
All I know of Sasha Kaye is that she was on a soap opera.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, how's that money? Let's wait. Look, okay, all I say is wait till something comes out. Wait until something comes out, and then say, oh yeah, man, she's gonna be great. Or like, oh man, she was. That's all. Like that's all I say is like, don't put all your like, hope and faith into this like idea, because then you look goofy when oh, that sucked, dude. Why did you get so hyped on like this like picture? What if Leslie Grace was not good as Batgirl? We don't know, guys. You think you want her to be great, but like just because she sang good in one movie doesn't mean she's going to be a great Batgirl. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, we're like just these kind of like fanboy assumptions. You just look, it's just embarrassing once you like really read
acted
it and
well too in the movie. Like I was not,
and I haven't seen it. I'm just saying, like, we don't know. You'll see. I love the optimism, Zeddy, but it's like
we're all gonna see. We'll all see, right?
We'll see. We'll all see.
We're all gonna know eventually what happens. But no,
I was excited. I was excited when they cast Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. I was like, oh shoot, that's cool. And then I was like, oh, I didn't like the take, And so we don't know yet. We might end up like going, oh, I didn't like the take. That
happens all the time.
So
like,
you love the take. I don't know.
I liked it, but I liked it because it was different, not because he was a great Lex by any stretch. I just thought the take on the character was different.
So I loved him at the end of the Snyder Cut. I like that kind of smarmy Lex at the end. He was less fidgety and more like
well, yeah, he kind of grew into himself, right? Like,
yeah, I like that a lot. See,
yeah,
I'm a Snyder fan, bro.
Yeah, we know you're a Snyder.
I love Affleck, dude. I hope he's Batman too. I hope he's wearing a Batman suit and not just. I think it's a Bruce Wayne scene. I think it's him eating steak with Amanda Waller type of thing. Like, I wish that it's Affleck showing up, in a cape.
Like, if it looks like the suit is wearing him, like it did in the Snyder Cut with the, the epilogue scene, because he looked so bad at it. But
he was in the end of the world, dude.
I know he wasn't eating.
No CrossFit, dude. He was just
no
in
food.
The dust.
He was eating like dust mites and stuff to stay.
People love who loves Grace, Zeddy. The things you say, bud. People love. I have heard nobody say they love Grace.
I liked her in the movie I saw her in. That's all I know.
Her power. We can't underestimate her power. You sound like Batman in Batman versus Superman.
She sounds like Anakin.
Bad movie, good movie. Do you like every Brad Pitt movie?
No, actually,
I don't. Most of them. He's a good actor.
I've seen lots of Brad Pitt movies, but yeah, I usually like him.
I saw Cool World. He was in that. That was pretty good.
That was one of the earlier ones.
I like that one. River Runs Through It. That's good.
Yeah. Seven.
Seven's great. Zeddy, go watch some Brad Pitt movies. They're pretty good. All of them are pretty good.
He was even good in the movie that just came out with Sandra Bullock. I forget the name.
Yeah. He was even good on Growing Pains. He did a guest stint on Growing Pains.
I know. I remember that.
Well, watch that. He was a rock star, remember?
Yeah, and then he did drugs.
He's all, you snot-nosed little punk. That kid's like, oh, Brad Pitt yelled at me. You guys,
you don't get this stuff. You don't get this stuff.
Yeah, you don't get this on Collider, guys. You get this straight up on SOG tonight, guys.
We talk about it. We talk about all this weird old stuff.
The deep cuts.
So, how about anyone else in the comments? Zeddy, you've made your thoughts very clear.
I don't know. Zeddy, I wish you were here. I want to hold Zeddy and give him a hug. And just
that's it. Lost City. That's what it's called. Thank you, Eric. I saw it in the movie theater too, and I don't remember the name.
Eric, you get a visit from Leslie Grace. Hold up.
No, she's still alive.
Oh, some Batgirl.
Yeah, that's Batgirl. Yeah.
Where's her jaw? Where's my jaw? Batgirls.
He had a little Batgirl before.
I did. I don't know where she went. She fell. Oh, there she is. It's the goofy Batgirl design where it's like she just has some ears. Hey, Dad. It's not me. Just me. Barbara.
So what do you think? What do you? What's the fallout? What do you think the fallout's gonna be in the not in our community, obviously, but and not in the general audience, in like the acting community or the
Uh, I
talent
think
community?
okay, actually, what you said in our community, it's gonna linger around for a while because DC fans are gonna until Black Adam comes out. Then they're all gonna talk about Black Adam. That's what's gonna happen there. General audience, they don't care. It's a non-issue. This isn't gonna affect them at all. Acting community, listen. Everyone got paid, right? Everyone who worked on this film got paid. Let's
Yeah, it's
assume
true.
like
They
you
all got
work
their
on a
money.
movie, you get paid. That's why it's $90 million, right? The sad part is like, hey, it didn't come out. There's been people through the years, they've worked on films, they've been cut out of films. Like most actors are like, oh, I've been cut out of plenty of films, right? So there's a little bit of that. But there was that article where or somebody said it's unprecedented, like what happened. Like this doesn't always happen. There has been movies that have been made that have never come out. You can't say they've never come out, but there's movies that don't get released. They're like, you know what, we're not putting this out. Dude, New Mutants almost didn't come out. That
Probably
sat on the
shouldn't have.
shelf for like 3 years, you guys.
And it had like 7 revisions. It
And you know
was
what? They shouldn't have put that out. It
no,
wasn't good. It was a
no.
terrible film. That was like, cut your losses, don't put it out. But they did something that they shouldn't have done. They tried, oh, maybe it'll connect. Maybe someone will say, ooh, X-Men, let's go watch it. And so if I'm a filmmaker, that's not true. If you're a filmmaker and Warner Brothers gives you a budget, you're gonna make your film.
No, I mean, I don't know if you're obviously going to make your film, but it might be in the back of your mind, like, wow, this doesn't.
And you negotiate because
This
Reeves
doesn't tickle their
negotiated.
fancy. This doesn't
Matt Reeves
tickle their.
negotiated. He walked away and said, "Hey, if I don't do the movie the way I want to do it, I'm not doing it."
Well, but that's not what he's talking about. He's saying you finish the film and they're looking at the cut and they're like, yeah, this sucks. We're not putting it out.
Yeah, but here's the thing: this changes things, right? Like Joker said. Now everyone who's going to sign up a contract to do a film, they're going to be like, "This better come out." So you guys canceled Batgirl.
I don't even know if you can put that in a contract.
I don't
know. Unless you fight for final cut. Maybe.
So like I don't think this is gonna. Here's the thing: I don't think this is gonna happen again. This was a protective chess move. Like we can't put out stuff that we don't believe in, you guys. This wasn't like this didn't have my thumbprint of approval. This was a freaking what was his name? Who was the HBO Max guy who put everything on?
Kilar.
Yeah, this is a Jason Kilar thing. This was his ideas. I don't want to do this. Let's save some money. Let's put out something that I think.
But see, that's the other. Then why wait? Like, why did they wait?
Maybe
they should have just axed it in the beginning.
Maybe dude, who knows? Maybe they were looking at the reviews and like, you know what? This isn't testing well, you guys.
I mean,
we don't want to put any more money into this.
They're getting dailies though. They're getting they get to see the dailies when they're coming in, when they're shooting. They get to see all of this stuff. All the print was already done. They could have watched that.
But dailies is different. Like once it's edited and put together, they can change things in editing for sure.
Of course, they can take things out, put them in.
I mean, remember people loved the Batman and Robin dailies. There's always those like if you go back and read the article, oh, people were loving the dailies from Batman and Robin.
How?
Because they were just like, we're gonna sell toys. But like now it's like this was a business move. It's not a feelings move. Like movies will break your heart, guys. That's like
he's over at Universal now. He's over at Universal now anyway. Nolan. So yeah, I mean, you're right. You know, you're someone like that, a big name like that, yes, they probably have pull. Like no one's gonna tell Steven Spielberg, we're not putting your movie out. No one's gonna tell him that.
Yeah. No one would have been like, well, first off, I would never have Batgirl. It would have been Joanna Blake. And then her real name would have been Batgirl. Oh, you should go by your real name, Batgirl.
Like The Irishman was 4 hours on Netflix, right? And but no one's gonna tell Martin Scorsese we're cutting your film. Or we want it to be 2.5 hours. No one's gonna tell him that. He's Martin Scorsese. He has a certain cachet that he's built up.
What else besides Bad Boys did these guys do? They did Miss Marvel, and what else?
Of the big things, that's all I know that they did.
They don't got clout.
Right, and that's what I mean. They don't really have the cachet to fight for something like that.
Yeah.
Like they don't,
And so that's another thing. They're just like, okay, like they're still pay for play, man. They're not picking and choosing, They're like
the other thing is though, the fact that they've all been quiet since this news came down, I'm kind of wondering what else we don't know yet.
Yeah. Either they already knew. I imagine they hopefully they knew. Hey guys, heads up. We're gonna put this on.
Well,
the
they
shelf.
knew. I hope they knew before the got leaked.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, sometimes that stuff happens. You're like,
Oh, I know.
out. I found out while I was, going to my grandma's. Like,
Yeah, I
look
know,
at that,
Eric. I'm sorry. I misunderstood you. My fault.
May have gone to bat for the directors for this film. Oh, you think like somebody else in the stable had been like, no, put this out, or I don't know, man. Like, no one went to bat for Zack Snyder. Like, no one stood up and said, hey, put this film out. Like, I don't know.
Well, but to me, it's like the Transformers movies, right? Yes, Michael Bay directed them, but Spielberg was attached to them at the beginning, so no one was gonna tell.
Oh, shoot, shut up. Is that for real? Craig saw one of the directors was getting married when it leaked.
Shut up.
No, are you kidding?
I'm gonna have to look it up now.
Craig, look it up. They'll buy everyone out, but won't release their film ever. In the heart of COVID. What? They'll buy everyone out, but won't release their film they made in the heart of COVID.
I don't see.
We are in the rectum of COVID, by the way, bro. It's on its way out.
Craig, is this like being reported in the Sun or something?
I think Craig is making it up.
No, because he lives over in England and they're like better at this stuff than we are. So are you sure this is?
No, Kroll just said it.
Oh,
okay, no, okay. That's so sad. Oh, dang. They're like,
that's terrible.
Yeah.
See, that's another. See, that's gonna hurt again.
He just did his vows. He's like, "You are my Batgirl. You are my forever." Just like Batgirl.
You're my Batgirl. Shut
forever.
up.
And they're like, "Hey, bro,
heads up.
Heads up."
Oh, that's funny.
Call her your Miss Marvel, man. Don't call her your Batgirl. He's like, you're a 6-episode miniseries on Disney Plus.
That's terrible. Oh man, now I feel even worse.
Yeah. Oh man.
Okay, there's a bunch. Okay. Now deadline. What?
No, Eric's right. Like, go back. You know how the New York Post put it out, and everyone's like, "Yeah, they're."
Yes,
they're
I was one. I was one because I live in New York.
Yeah.
I read the Post all the time. For sports, because their sports section is fantastic, but the rest of it's like a tabloid. It's literally a step up above the Inquirer type stuff. So whenever I hear stuff from them, I'm like, yeah, that's crap. It's probably not true. But then when Umberto and the Rap released it, I was like, oh.
Well, at first I thought Umberto was like just kind of jumping on to like some hits, but then when THR put it out, I was like, okay, this is real. So,
yes. Yeah. All right. The rejection of past Warner CBO Color to make or strategy to make original 70 million live action animated films directly for streaming site HBO Max.
Tuesday's last one. Wonder Woman 2 might be Godot's last contracted film. Yeah, I can see Godot like jumping out after Wonder Woman 3.
I think she was going to anyway.
Yeah. Like,
good night, Zed.
Love night, you, Zeddy. Dream good dreams. Make a wish. When you wish.
But I could totally see, like, I thought she'd be out after the third one anyway, and maybe we'll come back for a Wonder Woman, whatever.
Well, the rumors, whatever. She's supposed to be in Shazam.
Yeah.
And she might be in Flashpoint, like, as a cameo. So, who knows? Oh, Bud Light on me.
Beautiful.
Zeddy, I'm coming to Chicago, and I'm bringing you real beer.
Yeah. I might
Bud Light literally comes out of the tap water, bro.
I might go with Justin to do that. I mean, that's like my fallback beer. If they don't have anything, I'm like, all right, I'll drink that because that's just what they have. But if I have to choose, I'm not choosing Bud Light.
Yeah. Bud Light on me. Yeah, Bud Light on you. I would pour it on your head. That's how you'd get it.
Okay, the timing.
Okay,
let me read. The timing was particularly awkward for Batgirl co-directors Adil El Arbi and Bilal Falah. Both are in Morocco for El Arbi's wedding, wedding present, and they expected to return to the cutting room and continue to work on the film that stars Leslie Grace, J.K. Simmons, Brendan Fraser, and Michael Keaton. In both cases, the filmmakers were told that it came down to a purchase accounting maneuver available to Warner's Discovery because the company has changed hands and also changed strategy from the previous regime. The opportunity expires in mid-August, said sources, and it allows Warner Brothers Discovery to have to carry the losses on its books at a time when the studio is trying to pare down $3 billion in debt across its divisions. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were that much in debt.
Wow.
There's been much speculation on why Batgirl was canceled, having to do with it being a bad movie. Sources said that the film tested once, and the result wasn't that bad, considering that the cut had temporary visual effects and tend to temper audience enthusiasm in the scores. Already, the studio is discussing making different deals with directors and Miss Bala star Grace because this was not a reflection on their talent as much as their radical strategy shift. It was a hard decision for all and highly unusual to simply scrap a film that cost between 60 and 70 million, made by the hot directors who helmed Black and the Disney Plus series Ms. Marvel under Kevin Feige, as well as the pre-pandemic 426 million plus grossing hit Bad Boys for Life.
Yeah. So the upside here is Feige is going to snatch him up for another film.
Yo, Eric, I'm planning sometime next year. I'm planning on taking a trip. So,
maybe... dude, you know what? I want to go to Colorado too. We were watching that Bill Burr like comedy at Red Rocks.
I watched it. Yeah.
I want to go to that place so bad.
So
that'd be so fun.
But so there's the scoop, guys. It's not that the movie was bad. It really was a financial decision, and $3 billion in debt. Yeah, I guess I understand. I understand.
But it's also really bad movie.
Now.
It's a really bad movie, I heard. Zaslav sent me an email. Actually,
really
I'm on Warner Brothers Insider.
What's it called?
The what's the thing? The Warner Brothers fan thing they send out.
Yeah, I get it. I don't know what it's called. I think I actually have it. I spammed it once, and now I don't get it anymore.
Well, I was like, when you guys gonna like?
Spam folder.
I keep answering the same question. Yes, I stream. Give me some more information. So
you're right. Like, you're definitely correct here, Adam. This is 100% true. But I don't know. I think that could also be why maybe we didn't get a Cavill announcement at Comic-Con. Maybe there was talks ongoing about it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they were like, no, we really don't want to go this way.
Well, he wants a Superman film, though. Zaslav said, why haven't we made a Superman film?
Right, but Adam's saying he might want his own Superman. And if he wants his own Superman, you're not going to bring him back. So I don't know. I think the only thing for that could still be in play is because The Rock and The Rock's ex-wife, who's his manager, is also Cavill's manager.
Yeah.
So you have that connection there. But that's fair. I mean, he did say he wants a shared universe, and he did say he wants someone to run it, and he doesn't have that guy yet. So yeah, I mean, it's fair. But I'm glad this article came out because it definitely clears things up.
Yeah. Hopefully Thursday some more, like at the investor call. Is that what's going on?
Like, yeah, Thursday's the investor call. Yeah.
Hopefully some of that leaks out and they're like, hey, here's what was shared. DC they're restructuring. We have a guy on board. They're going to be the producer for these films. I don't know, man. Like, all in all, I get the heartbreak and I get like the frustration.
Okay, here's another key point I didn't read.
Oh, go for it. No, go for it.
Sources don't expect other films to get killed like this because the accounting opportunity expires by the middle of this month. But as all Warner Brother Discovery braces for Thursday's quarterly earnings report and the layoffs that are sure to come, no one with a project made specifically for HBO Max or execs there can feel confident at this moment. So anything that's theatrical, guys, it looks like it's going to still come out. So The Flash, Blue Beetle is theatrical, so I'm assuming those two are coming out. So there you have it. Yeah. So The Flash, obviously the movies that are coming out at the end of the year, Black Adam, Aquaman, Shazam 2, and then like whatever slated, Wonder Woman 3.
Zack Snyder's Justice League 2.
That's not coming.
Well, you never know.
I know.
After it came back.
It was HBO Max, and he said HBO Max. So
after he films 3 more zombie films and Star Wars.
But you know what this points to? This points to? That Killar's decision not to put things on HBO Max, put everything, but to put the movies during the pandemic. That's really what killed them. That's really probably where this debt comes from.
You might be right. You might be right.
Right? Because
but I understand what he was trying. Here's the thing. It was dude, it's a wild time. You can't sit on those movies for 5 years, right? Because we'd be getting Tenet right now. You know what I'm saying? Like you'd be halting everything. Like you really couldn't put anything out. And so like you can't sit on imagine all the stuff that came out, right? A lot of stuff came out.
They should have sat on Tenet.
Well, maybe. I mean, I still haven't seen Tenet, dude. I don't care. I'm just saying I'm sure it's great.
It's not a bad movie. I just still don't know what it was about. Like it's hard to follow. Yes, I believe investor calls are always open to the press.
Yeah.
Especially ones like this, because if you if you're in the stock market, every time there's investor calls, you're allowed to listen in if you own stock. So I'm sure some of these news agencies do own stock in in Warner Brothers Discovery. But it does seem now, now it's all making sense. The cost cutting move and maybe the absorption of HBO Max to Discovery just to cover their losses and put it under an umbrella that's doing well and not one that's struggling.
Yeah.
Look at that, guys. See? This is why we should all wait for the damn full story.
But my emotions. I got emotions.
I mean, I'm sorry. I fell for it too. So, and I normally don't. Normally, I'm like, oh, let's wait for all the stuff to come out. You never know what the truth is.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ian, I don't. It might be great. That's how I'll put it. It might be great.
Well, here's the thing. Nolan, I think for like Nolan stuff, like it's becoming to be, it's like your acquired taste. Like I think if you're a Nolan fan, you really like stuff. Like I've heard you have to watch Tenet a few times to kind of really grasp it. And
I only watched it.
I haven't seen it, so I can't say anything. But I have seen Batgirl, and I'll tell you, it's terrible. Terrible film.
I haven't seen all of Batgirl. I've only seen the intro, and it looked pretty damn good. I'll say that.
I just saw the picture they put out. That was it. I don't even know what Leslie Grace sounds like. I don't know what her voice sounds like.
You should. I mean, if you don't like musicals, you wouldn't like In the Heights, but it is good.
I saw behind the scenes footage of Keaton or his stunt double in a suit that looked kind of goofy, but yeah. Here's what I hope Discovery Plus does, or whatever. Just call it Warner Plus. That's all. That makes so much more sense than HBO Max, because it still sounds like my kids shouldn't be watching HBO Max, right? It was such a hard thing in the beginning. Like, what? Then once my wife found out you can watch Friends on there, then it was okay. But like at first, I was like,
wait, what was you worried about?
Because it's like HBO Cinemax put together. That's not known for kids programming, and so it was like, why do the kids have this? Like, what? So it's not a good.
Well, yeah, I would
a good marketing thing. You know,
I wouldn't let them have it on their own phones or their own iPads or stuff.
No, I know, but like, why do they want to watch HBO Max? And it's like,
but you can create kids accounts with.
No, she doesn't get that, dude. Like, she knows now. Like, they have their own hub, but like that's a big thing. Like for parents, like, oh, a streamer, my kid can watch Netflix, right? Because, but like, they can watch Disney Plus. So they should totally rebrand it, because it's not a great name for.
I mean, HBO's families. Original programming is definitely known to be more adult, so I understand that as well.
Sopranos, you're gonna watch Sopranos, and Sex and the City,
right? and
Teen Titans Go,
and The Wire, and all these great shows that were on HBO are on there. But Eric, I agree with you. It should be the other way around. Like you're right, they could change the name.
Yeah.
But it should be the other way around. I feel like HBO Max's bandwidth is so much bigger than Discovery Plus.
Yeah.
I don't know that for certain.
Yeah. They should just call it Warner Max or Warner Discovery if it's an ego thing. I don't know, but Warner should be in there. Like,
isn't that the name of the company now? Isn't it Warner Discovery? So why don't you just call it Warner Discovery Plus and
don't say Plus. Everyone says Plus. They should go Warner Discovery, like the infinity logo. You know, and then you have to like, well, how do I do that? Square.
Yeah, they do. They do have Disney Plus now.
Yeah, but my kids can't watch it because you have to have that. So that works. They've done a good job at it.
Have they asked about Deadpool to watch Deadpool?
Oh yeah, I said you can't. When can I watch Deadpool? I go, when you're 18.
Yeah, when you're older.
Yeah, you can't.
Oh, yeah, I would. I would.
And they're
never.
Like, okay, Dad.
I would never. Like my parents were so strict with me too when it came to that.
Yeah.
I only got to watch stuff when I went to my friend's house whose parents weren't as strict. And then I got to watch. I remember watching RoboCop there for the first time. Mm-hmm. Dude,
that's
I was like,
I always saw the TBS versions of those ones, like they were edited. I'll tell you this: my son went and well, he didn't go, but he had a friend, like a friend dad. He was like, hey, I'm going to take the boys to go see one of those discount movies. I'm going to take, this is when my son, he just turned 10. So he was almost 9. So he was 8 years old last year. Right. Mm-hmm. Take him to go see Stand By Me. I thought, I can't take 8-year-olds to see Stand By Me. He's like, oh, they're just walking around to see a dead body, bro. It's not an 8-year-old movie.
No,
You
it's
ding
not.
dong.
I know
Anyways.
there's 8-year-olds in the movie.
Yeah, but it's not a
But it's not.
8-year-old.
No,
Yeah.
it's not.
But like some people just their parenting brain just is not there. But
Yeah, and I mean, whatever. You raise your kids how you want to raise them, but you know, when they're really progressive and you're wondering, why are my kids like this? You'll know why. You let them watch these movies when they were younger.
I wish there was a movie like Batgirl out for the kids to watch.
There was gonna be, Justin.
Ah, dang it.
There was gonna be.
Zaslav. Didn't he know?
I can't believe you have
Game
teenagers.
of Thrones. Oh gosh.
You have teenagers? God. What are you people doing? You like all look so young. Eric Carter looks so damn young. Freaking Doug Eisenbraun, who's a fan of the show, like he looks like he's 12 and he has 2 kids. Like, what the hell? What's with the milk you guys are drinking nowadays that keep you looking so young? Because I look old as shit.
Because we don't drink Bud Light.
That's true.
I have a teenager. Gosh, he's 13. That's a teenager.
I know you have a teenager, man.
Sheesh.
It's crazy.
The
next few years should be fun.
I have a lot of white in my face.
Next few years should be fun, though. It should be fun.
We'll see what happens. He's gonna
start pushing those boundaries, I'm sure.
Oh no, not my son.
I have famous last words. Not my son.
Me, good moisturizer.
Yo, that's true. That is true. That's true.
I got some Pond's. I put some Pond's on in the morning.
Yo, my mom 91. She'll tell you, like, her skin is still pretty good. She'll tell you that's all I use, Pond's. My whole life. That's all I put on my face.
Pond's and whiskey. It's always something. It's like, oh, this is really nice. I put no,
my dad oils. My dad was a big vodka guy. He drank martinis every night, so that would have been him. Like, you asked him the secret to life, he would have been like garlic and martinis because my dad loved garlic too. That would have been it.
It's and Twinkies. All right.
Take care, brother. Eric. Take care. Keep staying young. Whatever you do out in Colorado, maybe it's the high altitude. Colorado,
it's the Rockies, dude. When you tap the Rockies, dude.
Maybe it's the altitude. Happens. Maybe it's just being up in mile high. The mile high. God. There we go.
Oh yeah, they should just call it like Snyderverse Plus.
Oh, they should, man. All right, so we gave the story. We have the story now. I'm glad we have the story.
That's good. Now we can make an informed commentary on what happened. And I'm sorry, fans. Sorry, Zeddy.
Yep.
Sorry.
Although we have a bunch of people talking about, this will be the fun part now, reading the aftermath and people saying why it's a mistake and people saying why it's not a mistake. And
directors are going to go to Marvel. Feige's going to give them a film. And they're going to take Leslie Grace with her. Leslie Grace is going to be in a Marvel film. She's going to be a character over there. Guarantee that's what's going to happen. Her and Cavill. Headed on over.
I wonder if we're going to get that Zatanna movie.
I hope so. I hope we get a movie for all these characters. I just hope it's, at the right time. And
well, you could throw her in the JSA, right? So
sure, you can put her anywhere. You can put her dad in the JSA.
Yeah.
Zatara, and then everything could spin out. So
that's what I'm hoping. Like I'm actually looking forward to that. What happens after Black Adam? If what The Rock is saying is true, it'd be interesting to see if they really do go the route of the JSA instead of a Justice League, right?
Yeah. Well, there was a meeting with The Rock and Zaslav, and he told him to know his role and to shut his mouth. And so
that's what he should say.
Yeah. So I think that's what's happening at the investors' call. Zaslav, do you like pancakes?
Wait, who would he play if Cavill goes to the MCU? Who would he play? Which Marvel character does he? Fit?
Everyone always says Captain Britain or Wolverine or something. So I don't know, like Wonder Man.
Maybe Wonder Man.
Wonder Man's like one of those characters. It's like, oh, there's weird. People like him. I think they're doing something with Wonder Man actually.
Yeah, I remember reporting on it.
Something like that. I heard about it on the Straight Outta Gotham podcast. So.
Yeah, we talked about it. I don't remember what exactly it was, but I do remember.
Yeah, Cavill would be fine. I don't know. Captain Britain.
Sentry's a good one. Yeah.
Who?
Sentry.
Oh, Sentry. Sentry. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sentry would actually be kind of interesting.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Good job on that.
Or add him, just add him to the X-Men cast. Like you said, Wolverine. It could be anybody.
Yeah, I don't know if he'd be a good Wolverine though. He's too big. I want a shorty for
Yeah,
Wolverine.
I think this time, because Jackman was so good and he was taller, like it'd be smart to go shorter this time, just for the comparisons. Like, don't get that comparison.
Yeah.
Because nobody is gonna compare to him in so many people's minds.
Yeah.
So people are gonna. I agree with you. We should get the 5'3", 5'4". Like I had said, Zac Efron because he's like 5'8".
Mm-hmm. I'd be down. I even saw a crazy Harry Potter theory one time. I was like, yeah, sure, throw him in there, dude. Like, I don't even care about actors anymore in the sense of like the typecast version of it, because we tend to typecast. Right. I'm like, oh, dude, that could be kind of interesting. Like, and sometimes it doesn't work out, but
I just want them to be talented. That's it.
But Cavill does need to be a little. He needs, no offense, but he needs a character that's not like full of too much depth, because I don't think he's that great of an actor. He's got some clunky spots, and Man of Steel, there's some like, oh, that was a little.
He was good in The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Oh, he was actually great in Man. He needs I think that's a strong part. I think he's like a Thor type of guy. Like, he's like Chris Hemsworth. He's got good comedic timing, and he's got charm. He never gets to play up his charm. So he needs to be a charming character. Like, he'd probably be a real good Gambit. But I don't know if he can pull off the accent. But you know how Gambit's very charming and like, like that. Like, he would need a charming character.
He's Gambit, not Lumiere.
Yeah.
But no, that's actually a good one.
Yeah,
Gambit would be good. Yeah, I mean, he's good. I think he's a good actor. Like, you can put him in a role, and he's not going to kill the role for you. He's gonna.
I love him as Superman, though. Like, give me some more.
But I'm not going to put him in something for him to carry a serious film. Like, The Witcher's pretty good, and he's good in that. But it's not, to me. The role is kind of dour anyway. Like, he's kind of this guy who's just kind of like and brooding.
Can you grimace and flex?
Okay. Right. Yeah. Like, so he's good in that. But like I said, the best thing I've ever seen him act in was The Man from U.N.C.L.E. That was my favorite film acting wise.
Yeah, he's really good in that. The Count of Monte Cristo. He was younger. He was good in that. I like most of the stuff he's done. Like, I loved him in Mission Impossible. He was great.
Eternals, right? He was in Eternals, right? Not Eternals. What's the one? The one with the God.
Yeah.
Immortals.
Yeah. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, you didn't miss anything. It's not a good movie. I mean, the problem with this is what, outside of the theatrical cut of Justice League, we really didn't get a different take on Superman. So
not impressed.
Right? Like, you got the brooding one in Man of Steel, and then in BVS you also got more of the same. So they didn't really ask him to do much.
Yeah, but his Whedon stuff's actually really good. I think it's more charming.
Yeah, it's more true to what people like about Superman.
Yeah, so I think he can do it.
I would have loved it. I would have loved it if they kept him. Yeah. I think he should have gotten a real opportunity at a sequel.
Yeah,
but that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, I heard he was in Batgirl.
Everyone was in Batgirl, huh?
Yeah,
a bunch of cameos.
Affleck was in Batgirl.
Yeah, I heard that.
The New Mutants were in there. There was a lot of stuff in there, man. So, Madam Web.
The Wonder Twins, they were in it.
Oh, the Wonder Twins was canceled.
I know.
Forgot about that. Oh,
I was upset about the Wonder Twins.
That would have been, dude. I don't know. That would have been kind of fun. Maybe those things have a chance to come back later once they get some good faith going. Because the Wonder Twins is something people know. Wonder Twins,
well, if you watch Super Friends growing up, you know the.
Yeah, especially our generation, we kind of like my sister. She would have loved Wonder Twins. Like, she had no idea it was being made, but if she heard about it, she'd been like, oh, Wonder Twin powers deactivate. She used to do that with me. Wonder Twin powers deactivate.
Yep. One turned into
a banana or whatever. Or water.
One turned into a bucket. One turned into water.
That monkey was like, grab a bucket, because he was always just water. He'd be like, form of a bird. It's like, I'm always just water. All right.
Oh, that movie, those characters. I mean, that would have been the fun thing about it. If they had done it from a comedic angle, I think it would have been better.
Oh, it'd been hilarious, because they're like, oh wait, there's no bucket for the monkey to hold. He just turns into a water. Like, well, now I'm just water on the ground, and like someone slips. That would have been hilarious.
Such fantastic characters. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't have scared anyone.
Yeah, and they had a really cool I'm going a little deep cut, but like a couple years ago. Bendis put out a thing called like Wonder Comics, a little imprint.
I was going to ask you because I thought they had.
Yeah, that was actually really fun. It was cool.
Yeah,
it was like they were being trained by the Justice League, and anyways, that was fun. They could have adapted some of that stuff, but
that's probably what they would have done. There probably been something along those lines where they made them more adult, I guess, because you have to now. Like,
yeah, I think it would have been kind of wink, wink, you know.
Right. Well, yeah, it could have been, like a kick-ass type of thing.
Yeah. Oh well. Rest in peace, Sam and Dana.
Add it to the Zaslav.
Hey, at least Steven Spielberg's Black Hawks is coming out. Dang.
Yeah, I'm still hoping Rogue Squadron gets made.
Oh shoot!
Like I'm hoping all these damn movies come by. I don't know.
Everybody who didn't get their DC movie made, I just hope they show up in Star Wars or Marvel.
Like some people comparing like Lucasfilm and Marvel to DC, and I'm like, you can't. Like, there's Marvel Studios is its own thing. Lucasfilm is its own thing. They're just owned by Disney.
Yep.
But they still operate as their own thing.
Yeah.
DC Films doesn't.
That's right. 100%, man.
Not yet. So.
Not ever if they don't.
Well, that's what Zaslav's trying to do. He wants to get someone to be, like you said, there, Kevin Feige, someone who, will shepherd in everything. And I'm not saying it's going to be an underlying theme like we have in Marvel. But yes, Andor looks fantastic.
Oh, Andor looks great. Yes. See, I think that's the thing. Like Star Wars has found like it's like it had some weirdness in the movies, right? And then it hits. They've kind of found a groove on Disney Plus with their shows, like minus, I won't get into the weeds. Boba Fett was, I think it was a bit of a miss, right? My opinion, but everything else, man, it's been like Obi-Wan was great, but Mandalorian's great, dude. This I was telling my buddies today about it. Like we were watching the trailer. I'm like, Andor was that film. I was like, man, why do I want to watch a show about Andor? But it's really about the beginning of the Rebels. Yep. Like you're watching a trailer and like halfway through, it's no longer about Andor. And all of a sudden it's about like, oh shoot, this is the beginning of something big. This is really cool. Yeah.
You see more Saw Gerrera, obviously, because
I was like, Forrest Whitaker. I was like, Black Dog.
Yeah, like so they're world building around this timeline, and they're adding layers to it.
It looks
without focusing on. I mean, obviously Obi-Wan focused on the Skywalkers because they're directly connected, but it's just in this timeline in this period that hasn't been explored really.
Yeah, it looks phenomenal. Like I'm real excited about that. So I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, even then we have an Acolyte now. I don't like the Acolyte that girl was cast as the Acolyte, so we're going to see that film now, that show now too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Disney. I mean, Star Wars has hit a really good pace right now.
Yeah,
that's why I'm not concerned about films. I'm like, they're doing so well on Disney Plus. Like, I don't need a movie until you're ready to give me a movie.
Yeah,
so,
for reals.
Yeah, but I still want the Rogue Squadron film. I still want that to happen.
Yeah, I do too. That tease was really cool. Like to see her go out and her roller skates and then talking about her dad and all that. I thought that was cool. So.
And she's a good filmmaker. Even though Wonder Woman 84 was.
Yeah.
But
agreed. It was C plus.
Yeah, I mean it has stuff I like about it. But
yeah, it's got some Gal Gadot winking, like wink. Like that's cool. I'm gonna wait down for a little winky wink.
And the 80s references.
Yeah, there was some fun stuff. But agreed.
The fanny packs and the mall and
I love malls, man.
Very Stranger Things.
Oh, I wonder if they filmed in the same mall. They're like, hey, you guys, can we use your 80s mall? Cool.
Yo,
Zaslav's going to cut us if we don't save some money. So,
yeah, man, that's I didn't $3 billion. Wow, I can't even imagine.
Well, that's almost $1 billion. No, not even.
Not even close.
Not even. Sorry, I was thinking.
It was 900 million.
Sorry, there we go. Can you imagine a 900 million Batgirl film?
Batgirl, yes.
We built an entire city.
We built Gotham City, guys. Brand new. It's actually on the map now. Real Gotham City.
Imagine another like universe where they put Batgirl out though, and it makes $1 billion. I told you.
Well, who knows if in a couple of years we don't get like they revisit this idea and they take pieces from this film, and who knows?
Oh, dude, yeah, Hellboy would be an amazing streaming series.
Yes,
That's
I think it would work better as a series than as a movie. So
yeah,
I agree.
And yeah, I agree, and I think they should do that. And what's his face? Bring him back.
Perlman?
Yeah, he's great, man.
He's old,
and he likes wearing makeup. He don't care. He did Beauty and the Beast. Like, put him in some makeup. He doesn't care.
He's kind of old now, though.
Dude, put makeup on him. Put prosthetics.
I didn't see the David Harbour movie. Was it that bad? Oh, was he bad? He's a good actor.
Bad.
That's why.
It was just bad. I was like, and they were like, oh, and Mike Mignola's involved. I'm like, man, nah, Del Toro had it, bro. Like, I don't know. That's a whole other thing, dude. Boo.
That is. I don't know. Like, I remember seeing the previews for the Harbour film, and I'm like,
I was like, why did they cast Glenn Danzig as Hellboy? That's what it looked like. Yeah, he was good, but the movie was just not good. Much like Batgirl. Like, she was great as Batgirl, but the movie just was not good.
Where's Zeddy to hear that she was great? He'd be so happy.
Oh, man, she sounded like an angel. She was singing.
Well, she does sing like an angel.
I heard. That's what Nico said.
Rachel Ziegler, too. That's why I'm in Shazam. No, yeah, Shazam. That's why I said, like, does she sing in this movie? Do we get her singing?
She's all Shazam.
Like, it would be cool if she did. They're missing an opportunity if she doesn't sing.
She sings like the end credit song. It's all, I have the power.
Did you write the end credit song?
Oh, sure, I'll write it. It's probably something dumb like that. It's like, when lightning strikes.
No, I'm sure
my love erupts. Because I got the power of Shazam.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, I got it, dude. All right.
Start putting lyrics. Start.
There we go. Me and Eric, we're gonna drop a SOG real hit tonight. It's called The Power of Love / The Power of Shazam.
The Shazam. We'll write it and we'll send it and see if it gets added to.
You're all, listen up. We have a great idea. Rachel Ziegler, send it to Rachel Ziegler. Like, come on, Pony Smasher.
I follow her on Twitter. Maybe I'll send it.
Say, hey, it's called The Power.
Rachel, can you sing this, please?
Literally, the word / has to be in the song. The power of love / the power of Shazam.
She would be like, what the hell?
Shazam the musical would be fun. Can you imagine?
I think I saw the Spider-Man one when it was out.
Oh,
dark.
Tell me.
Well, first of all,
it was terrible production. Wasn't people like dying?
Yes,
falling on people and stuff?
The harnesses would always break, and like the Spider-Man would always get hurt, and always shutting down production for it. But it actually was good. I mean, it's U2's music. If you don't like U2, you probably won't like it. But
what? Like he was singing like with or
well,
without you? Or
Bono,
something?
U2 wrote the songs for the play. So, you know, Bono's not singing it, but like in your head, if you're watching it, you're like, oh, I could see Bono singing this, and it's weird.
One web.
like
one life.
Goblin is weird in it, and there's some weird stuff to it, but it was
the costumes look bad. I remember seeing the costuming. Like, ooh.
Well, it's a Broadway thing.
Wasn't the main lady? It wasn't like an old lady or something. Like, wasn't it Madam Web or something? Like, they
have a bunch of characters.
Okay, I thought it was like a random made up villain or something for their show, or
like goblins in it, Green Goblins in it.
Wow.
I'm trying to remember what other Venom.
Yeah. Venom.
Yeah, Venom's in it.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
But it was. I mean, it's Broadway, man. Like it's, you know.
I saw Marvel like Heroes live like 5 years ago or something.
They need to make the musical that was at the end of Hawkeye. That's what they need to do.
Dude. You know what? They should. People would go watch that, dude.
They would.
That's something, dude. If they made Cats into a movie, they can make freaking that into an actual musical. That
would be my argument.
Like, do it. Put it.
If I was the Batgirl people, I'd be like, dude, Cats got made. Cats got released.
At Disneyland, I don't know, they have like a Hollywood theater. They used to do a really funny like Aladdin like show, and the guy who played Genie would always be kind of pop culture-y. Like he'd talk about Britney Spears and they'd work it into the show, like so it was like relevant every time you watched it. Mm-hmm. Dude, that'd be amazing for them to do it at maybe it's not on Broadway if they did it at like Disneyland or something. we're deep diving. That'd be fun though, man, to see that as a musical.
Justin and I are brainstorming about things we'll never
Yeah,
produce.
we're just gonna make money for Disney.
We just send them all our ideas. What about this
songs?
one?
Got some song ideas, and
Warner Brothers. We wrote a song for the Shazam movie.
yeah, hit us up. Hit me up at SOG tonight.
You can send it to the
Only
SOG
show
podcast.
I've been on lately.
Yeah, Justin. Well, there's only 2 people left. Justin's coming back, guys.
I'm coming back, guys. Who's here left? Adam and Craig.
Probably.
Yeah, coming back.
Yep.
To Batman Book Club. That's where I've been. The last show I was on.
I haven't been on that in a long time.
Yeah, they were talking about you on the last one. It was great.
Yeah, I listened to the beginning. I heard the mystical.
Oh gosh, dude. I was laughing so hard, dude. I had to stop.
Lauer kept telling me, Eric, listen to the beginning of the podcast. Let's begin the podcast. I'm like, all right. So we posted it on Monday. I'm like, all right, I'll listen to it. And I just started laughing. I'm like, that's great.
It's my favorite thing. Like that just needs to be like the saved tweet. Because it was, yeah.
Yep, mystical.
Old.
It's funny because I didn't know and he put that mystical thing. So I was like, oh, I miss mystical. And he was like, you really need to listen to the next episode of the book club. Oh, yeah. I'm like, all right. Perfect. Cool. So good. Yeah, it is. It is a great show. He does a great job. And yep. I mean, I was involved in the beginning, but not anymore. I used to produce it for him and help him edit it and stuff. But he kind of took it over.
You gotta get on. You gotta read a comic and get on the show.
Yeah, I guess I should.
Come on, we need some Holzman.
Dude,
that way Pete can go, Eric doesn't read comics. Just like shows.
I've read Sandman and I'd love to discuss that, but it's not a Batman book.
Yeah. Well,
so I don't think he would do it.
You need to go into the Sandman Dream Theater.
Did you read Sandman?
I started Preludes and Nocturnes. Goes like, oh, that's everyone. All the goth chicks like this, or
it's so good.
I just couldn't get into it, man. I've seen he showed up in Grant Morrison's run of Justice League. I was like, oh, that's that character. That's Dream. And actually, I read Death, High Cost of Living. I remember I liked that a lot. That was just a little 3-issue mini.
Mm-hmm.
Thought that was really well done. So I think I just have to be in a very I'm gonna drink some wine. Yeah, I'll watch the show. I'm gonna check out the Sandman show.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, from the trailer, from what I haven't read it in a long time, but from what I remember of the comic, it's pretty. There's some faithful parts.
I remember when, maybe it was 5 years ago. I got to tour DC's offices in Burbank, and they were like, "Yo, this week Joseph Gordon-Levitt was sitting in that room for the pitch." Because he was originally going to be producing it and starring as Sandman.
Mm-hmm.
And it all kind of fell apart. So
yeah.
I was like, oh, shoot.
Yeah, I like big event books like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's more my thing. Like the way I give you guys tons of credit. You guys can read these books every week and go and be like, yeah, I'm going to get the next issue.
Not me, man. I'm cutting. I'm cutting it, dude. I'm like, if it's not good, I'm out, dude.
But no, I mean, that's dedication that I do not have. I've perfectly admit it. But if there's
that's
a good
why I like
story,
the book club. The book club will read this.
Yep.
I'm just over the bad stuff. So
if it's a good story, then I'll read anything. So
that's right.
If you tell me that something's good, I'll check it out.
That's right.
And it doesn't matter who it is either. Like I don't care. Batman, anything.
I've got some great Batgirl stories.
Yeah, apparently they used your material to make the film, and now they're not releasing it.
Oh yeah, Superman Space Age is freaking fun as heck. I actually read that 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, that was fun. Michael Allred, anytime he does something, is really fun. So.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll check that out.
Yeah.
All right, gents. It's been an hour and a half.
Yeah, it has been an hour and a half.
And Justin's probably melting because his garage
it's finally starting to cool off. It's 10 o'clock.
Getting late. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, thanks for watching us.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging.
Yeah,
wait, what's this? Just news.
It's probably the article I just told you about.
No.
Oh.
No.
Vin Scully?
No, it's about Demi Lovato.
Yeah, she's not they them anymore. She went back to her. She's
a lady now.
Yeah, her.
Cool.
Yes, it's been fun, guys. Definitely check us out. I want to do more of these. Justin kind of just spurned me on tonight, but I want to do more.
It's fun.
Live streams. This is more what I like to do. I'm much more of a live stream guy than a podcast guy, but
breaking news.
So yeah, I should start doing. I've had this idea in my head to do that kind of a thing.
Yeah,
like get a background and wear a suit and tie and like I'm a news reporter and sit there and meet the people.
This just in: Batgirl's been canceled. That's right, heartbroken fanboys all over the world. Actually, 27 people. 27 people on Twitter.
We're getting more news. Hold on.
Nick.
Breaking news.
Nick Zednick is on a hunger strike for Batgirl. He will not eat anything until Warner Brothers puts this movie out on HBO Max. You heard it
why do you sound like Walter Winchell?
I don't know. It's like the classic news.
The 1930s news. Justin's doing 1930s news in 2022.
Nick Zednick will not have a Bud Light. You heard it here. No more suds for this boy. No more suds for this bud.
Mine would be more ESPN Sports Center style because that's more my style.
That's my style. I don't even watch it, but I would just want to hang out with like Karl Malone. Not Karl Malone. Is Karl Malone on there? No.
Oh, you mean the guys, the sportscasters?
It's like always it's always the old basketball guys. Like it's like.
Oh, you're talking about the shows.
I like those guys.
Like NBA Live and
bring
NFL
those guys on.
Live and yeah. They always have those shows always have the former athletes. And even in the morning they have like all of them now.
Yeah, those guys are fun. They don't even talk about sports. They're like talking about like, they're just kind of shooting it and then they'll get into it.
There's always one main topic and then they talk. Oh, you're talking about inside the NBA.
I don't know. I just know you see the clips of those stuff and you're like, oh, that looks like it's fun.
I mean, yeah, it's all entertainment. It's not really news. Yeah. So you have to have like one-liners and quips and all that stuff.
I got that stuff. I got the quips. Got quips. All right. Eric can be like JJJ. That's right. You can start off like this in the garage and then end up going real big.
He doesn't want to be famous? I'll make him infamous.
Right. Well, I mean, at least he has JJJ because he ain't going to be Gordon.
That's true.
And we'll end it right there. There you go.
We'll end it on that.
Circle.
Take care, y'all. For Justin, I'm Eric. Have a good night.
Bye.